Hi Jeff, nice to have you here again.
Yeah, it's good to be here, Kristina. Thank you. What's up?
Here at LuxTag we often get the question how actually LuxTag helps to prevent counterfeiting of items. So I would like you to help me with answering it.
Okay, that's a great question. So one thing that I normally get asked is, for instance, we did the Chrono Swiss watches and we have a certificate on these Chrono Swiss watches. And people always ask, well, what if someone makes a fake Chrono Swiss watch? Let me talk about why that just basically isn't possible. Each watch has a certificate, and this certificate is very clearly made from Chrono Swiss. And what I mean by that is they bought a name on the NEM blockchain, and it's only their name and only they can use their name, and they use that name on each one of their certificates. If I try to make the name Jeff, and I try to sell you a Jeff certificate with a Chrono Swiss watch, you'll be like, hey, this is not a Chrono Swiss certificate, right? So you need a Chrono Swiss certificate, but not just any Chrono Swiss certificate. You need one that has the right information. Because see, the face of this watch says 2 out of 100. This certificate says 2 out of 100. This case has a serial number on it, and this serial number is in the certificate. And not only that, but inside of the watch, deep inside of the watch, there's a movement, and that movement also has a 3rd serial number on top of it. So you get 3 serial numbers on the certificate. If I try to sell you this watch, you can look at the watch and you can look at the certificate and you can know if it matches or not. And again, you know that it came from Chrono Swiss to me and now me to you. So you can be very confident when you buy this watch that it is the real one. But what happens if I'm a sneaky guy? What happens if I have the real Chrono Swiss watch and the real certificate, but I try to make a fake watch? Now this watch basically looks exactly like this one, right? They're more or less identical, and it would be hard to tell which one is real or which one is fake. So let's say I make this watch, and let's say I'm really good and I can make it for $1,000. Okay, it normally costs $10,000 on this watch when you buy it from the store, but I can make it for $1,000. So I have the real certificate on my phone, I make an exact copy, and I try to sell you this watch. Now this is a used watch. You can tell it's used because it's on the certificate. I can't try to sell it to you as a new watch because the certificate doesn't say it's new. So how much would you pay for a $10,000 watch if it was used?
$8,000.
Okay, $8,000, that's a good price. So again, now this is really nice for me because I made a fake watch for $1,000. I sold it to you for $8,000, and I gave you the real certificate for my other watch. You can't even tell that it's a fake, right? And now I made $7,000. But I didn't actually make $7,000 because it cost me $10,000 originally to buy this watch with the real certificate. And now I have a real watch. Okay, that's great. But I gave you the real certificate with the fake watch. And what am I going to do with the real watch? What am I going to do with it? Am I going to try to sell it? Again, if I try to sell you a fake watch or even a real watch with no certificate, and I try to sell you a watch with no papers, what are you gonna say?
No.
No. It's the exact same thing if I try to sell you a car and I say, it's a real car, here's the keys, I promise, just give me all the money, I'll give you the car, but I don't give you the papers, what do you say?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. So if you're buying an item and you know that there's supposed to be papers, especially if you know that there's a blockchain certificate that cannot be faked, then you want the blockchain certificate. And when I say that this can't be faked, I mean that it can't be faked in the same way because Bitcoin can't be faked. So we use cryptography and we use blockchain. If I send you a Bitcoin, I no longer have that Bitcoin. I can't send it to somebody else again. If I send you a Bitcoin, you know with certainty that you got the real Bitcoin. It's the same thing with this certificate. If I send it to you, I no longer have it. And because of NEM's unique features that are far and above any blockchain, we can brand each certificate with a company name, and then you know for a fact you get the real certificate. And you can see the history of the certificate and the history of item as it moves through time. This stops luxury goods essentially from being faked ever.
Yeah, that's just excellent. But as you said, it works with luxury goods. What about just usual, not that expensive items from mass market? Does it work?
Okay, so good point. Let's take, for instance, a bottle of paracetamol. Now this could be anything. It could be cologne, it could be organic lotion, or it could be medicine. If I have a used bottle of medicine, I'm not really going to try to sell it to somebody as a new bottle of medicine. So how would happen in this case is there would be a counterfeiter, and what they would want to do is not make one, but they would try to make 100 or 1,000. So how would they go about doing this? Well, first of all, again, they can't make fake certificates because only the owner, only the manufacturer can make the real certificates. But they could, in theory, copy this QR code, and then they can make a fake bottle of paracetamol, and they can copy this QR code and they can put it here. But you can't just do one because they have to buy one for every QR code, so they need to make more than one fake bottle. So let's say they try to make 100, and they put the same QR code on all 100, and then they ship a box of 100 fake bottles. Now what would happen is, actually, the first person that claimed this bottle of medicine would indeed show up on their app that they got a real bottle of medicine, even though it was fake. But the second person, the 5th person, the 10th person, the 99th person, all the way through 100, when they scanned, it would say that they got a fake bottle. Now this is important because what would happen is those people that are 2 through 100 would, in theory, call the pharmacy and be like, why did you sell me fake medicine? Is this real medicine? Is it safe for me to take? Is this medicine gonna poison me? What's going on? Why did the app tell me not to take this medicine? The pharmacy then can check its supply, it can check its supplier, and it can find out where did the medicine come from. Okay, and the thing about medicine is it's not just about making counterfeit medicine. There's actually laws here about strictly regulating how medicine can be made, how it should be processed, who can process it. People have to have licenses. So the counterfeiter would risk losing their license, and on top of that, they would risk going to jail. And it's almost a guaranteed case that they would go to jail because there's proof on the blockchain that they committed a crime. This is like the worst thing that a counterfeiter would want to do, is leave behind definitive proof that they were the ones that counterfeited the medicine. So we not only stop watches, but we also stop mass-produced items like medicine too.
Great, thank you so much for explanation. Nice to have you here again. Thank you. Subscribe to our channel.